Describing films in British English. Being able to effectively describe films that you have seen or watched is essential for any speaking exam, and it is also a useful ability to have when you speak English. Let's start by looking at some of the different categories or types of films known as genres. Action films traditionally involve dangerous or disaster situations and fight choreography, and many require the use of physical stunts, performed by a stuntman, stuntwoman, or stunt performer. Comedies are films intended to make the audience laugh. There are many subgenres of comedy like romantic comedy, a parody or spoof, or a dark comedy. A thriller is a story that is usually a mix of fear, excitement, and suspense. Science fiction or sci-fi is a genre consisting of fantasy, typically based on speculative scientific discoveries, environmental changes, space travel, or life on other planets. A western is a tale set in the western states of the USA, especially in the period of settlement and early development, usually involving gunmen, outlaws, or settlers in conflict with Native Americans. A romance or love story film typically involves intimate relationships and a journey of the love between the main characters. A horror story is told to deliberately scare or frighten the audience through suspense, violence, or shock. Crime and mystery films could be about true crime stories, murder mysteries, or detective films. Documentaries are non-fiction films that present factual information about a person, event, or subject. Animation films are made up of animated images as opposed to live action shooting. When it comes to the duration of the film, we have two options. A feature film, which is a full-length movie typically lasting between 70 and 210 minutes. Or a short film, which is significantly shorter than a feature film, usually under 40 minutes. Now, let's look at who works on a film. Here are just a few of the main jobs involved in making a film. The producer works on most aspects of the film, ranging from the script to the editing. They have to manage all the people working on the film and make sure everybody does their job on time and within the film's budget. The director primarily has to manage the technical and artistic team, run the film shooting, and basically tell everybody what to do. The screenwriter is the person who writes the script and the story for the film. The director of photography is responsible for setting up the camera shots to ensure the best images are portrayed. The art director is in charge of the film sets and props. The editor has to correct, chop and change the pieces of the film to ensure that everything flows and there are no mistakes in the final version of the film. Then we come to the actors and actresses who have the most famous and glorified roles in film production. The whole group of actors in a film is known as the cast. The verb to cast means to choose actors to play particular parts in the film, and the casting is the noun that refers to this process. The main characters or the protagonists are the characters that the story revolves around. When you want to say which actors play the part of the main characters, you can use the verb to star like this. The supporting characters help to elaborate the story and assist the protagonists. When a small but noticeable part of a play or film is performed by a famous actor, they make a cameo appearance. The narrator is the character or voice that tells or narrates the story to the audience. Some films have hundreds of extras who are not necessarily actors but are the people used when lots of people are needed in crowds or busy scenes. The actors have to read and memorize the script, which contains the lines or words for the dialogues or conversations in the film. Do not confuse the script with the plot, which is the story of the film. When you want to describe the plot or the setting for the film, use the verb to set in the passive form to say when or where the story is based. What is the film about? When giving a general description of a film, use this structure. Scenes are the parts of films in which the action stays in one place for a continuous period of time. When you talk about award ceremonies, you can say that a film has scooped the prize to say that it has won it. A film is released or comes out at the cinema, or it is shown on TV on-demand platforms like Netflix or HBO. Reviews, critics, and criticism. A review is an analysis of a film written after its release. A film critic is a person who professionally analyzes and comments on films. Criticism is the act of saying that something or someone is bad. Here are some impacting adjectives to help you describe films better. To say the film impacts you on an emotional level, say it's moving or powerful, or even gripping, which means it keeps you on the edge of your seat. Of course, instead of just saying a film is bad, give it some extra spice with words like awful, terrible, or dull. Or you could say it is predictable or overrated when you expected it to be better. Visually stunning describes a film that's beautiful to watch. If a film is critically acclaimed, it has been highly praised by critics. You can say an award-winning film to say it has received an award, or you could use the specific name of the award. That's it for today. Check out my next video on describing novels in English. If you want to learn British English with me, hit the subscribe button to join the community and take your English to the next level.